Good evening, dear friends. This is 2nd of August, wishing you all a very happy Friendships Day. This is my venture, Deep Talks, virtual reality on love, and we have a fantastic guest with us, Dr. Mohsin Wali, and I'm sure that his work will speak volumes when you'll come to know his thoughts about love, relationships, and much more. So, sir, I would love you to connect to our audience, the viewers who are watching us today on Friendships Day. Uh, you can give your introduction in few lines so that we can mark the launch of Deep Talks virtual reality on love. Few
Yes,
lines about.
good evening, all friends. I would say all friends. And that's the first connect. And then I would say, what is friendship? We take friendship very lightly in our day to day life. It's the biggest word possible in the mankind to follow because
True,
once we are friends forever.
true.
Friendship is sometimes greater than a bond between father and son, between mother and daughter, between mother and son, brother and brother, because friendship can do miracle. The reason I
Totally.
say this is these are the unparalleled love bonds, and I'm bypassing them for some reason. Because if we
Exactly.
value friendship, friendship can do miracles, it can do wonders, and I will clarify why I took the word friendship about these relationships.
Good,
Friendship
sir.
is a bigger word than all these relationships in life because it is said a friend in need is a friend indeed, number one. And there can be nothing better than a friendship. Let it be Hanuman and Maharaja Ram, Lord Rama. It is a friendship, whether between Sugriv and Rama, between Radha
Yes.
and Krishna also.
True. True.
Yeah.
Very true. Very
So
true.
friendship is
So,
a bigger word, and when I say friendship is a bigger word, because if I am a good father, my son has to be my friend first, and then son afterwards. One, my
wonderful.
wife has
Wonderful.
to be friend first, and then wife afterwards. My mom,
True.
my dad, I have to be friends with them. I can't say they are friends, but I have to be friends with them and open with them so that I can tell them all black and white of my life and I can open up. Because if I cannot open up with a father who is
True.
robust, who is heavyweight, who is a fatherly figure, I can always open up with a father who is a friend. And that is the beauty of friendship. And that's how
True.
we take the friendship. And this just came in my mind when I was speaking that friendship is a bigger word. I said these bigger relations you cannot overpower between the bond, father and son bond, mother and daughter bond. My daughter is a very good friend of my wife. I mean, they are friends. They share everything. And that is a
Nice.
bigger bond because mother is always a mother. But you have to be friends with your children. And that is what the problem in the society today is that children are not opening up with their parents. They are opening up outside with their colleagues, with their what you call companions, with their friends
Exactly.
outside. And
True.
peers, what we call is a peers is the word for that
Yes. Very
relationship.
rightly. Why? Very rightly
So,
stated. And
in fact,
it's
we
indeed a
are not,
pleasure.
we undervalue the friendship and we
True.
undervalue all the worldly and the spiritual relationship because God is also our friend. Don't forget that.
True.
We can ask
True.
anything from the God like a child, and God never refuses, accepts our prayers. So God is we are friend with God also.
True. Very true. Very true. So, what inspires you to talk of love, if I may ask? One incident that holds your mind even today, like one incident that inspires you to talk of love.
I was watching just now before you came in on a screen the interview with that girl Lokhande with
Okay.
Times Now, Twitter, and I was
Okay.
watching her body language.
Wonderful.
He repeatedly said that I left Sushant 4 years back, 4 years back, 4 years back. But I could see the deep love at her face with Sushant, who is
Yes.
no more. So love is an immortal bond, and this just now I watched her, and she was so pure in her statements. The editor provoked her to talk about Ria. She never spoke a ill word about Ria. Otherwise, ladies always talk ill words about their this type of vamps. Ria is a vamp in her life, obviously. So she never
Sure.
uttered a single word against Ria. I watched full 1 hour from 7:30 to 8:30, and she never spoke. And whenever she was provoked, she said, "I don't know about this girl because she was not there in the life of Shrikant when I was there." And very nice interview.
True, true. So that has inspired you to talk about love, right? So, if I may ask you, if you can relate to one of your personal crush on someone that made you understand that love has no boundaries, would you still express that? And do you think expressions in love are really important, whether it's verbal expression or non-verbal? Would you love to express and tell our viewers about something that was your personal experience having a crush, and did you express it or did you not express it? Do you think it's important?
When you say crush, crush means you crush yourself, you crush your body, you crush your soul when you really want to love someone.
True.
You have to really forget that you are something. You totally get into the colors and hues of the person whom you love, whether it is God, whether it is your wife, whether it is your boyfriend, whether it is your girlfriend. And
True.
these days, saying I love you has become a very small statement. People don't think when they're talking. You talk on a Facebook 2 days with a lady, and the man writes, I love you. The lady also writes, love you too. This is not, this is not
Yeah, that's
love.
expression.
They have
Yeah.
not met, they have not felt each other, they have not breathed together, they have not understood the chemistry. And on Facebook, they are meeting for 2 hours, and that talk ends up, I love you, and the other party says, love you too. This has no meaning to me. You see, you are insulting the word love. It's prem.
True.
It is immortal. It is like, it is, you can't kill it. It is like atom. It's like
I'm
atom.
sure
It is a
it's
physical
like
property. It's like an
nothing.
atom. Once it is in the air, today, these days, I'm saying corona is in the air, like we used to say love is in the air.
True,
And this
true.
is something I was telling in the evening that Mr. Amit Shah had been going to hospitals and he caught
Okay.
from the care of the hospital this coronavirus. So this
Yeah.
is what the love is like, and love should not be undermined. The importance of love should not be undermined. And love is a very
True.
big word, which you totally get submerged, you totally get crushed, you totally destroy yourself, like you see the film Devdas and things like that
Exactly.
happening in love. And
True.
also, love is for moon, love is for sun, love is for patience. In my case, I have love for my patients, and that is supreme
Wonderful.
form of love, which
Nice.
is the best form of prayer. It is very
Very good.
it is very pious, it is very spiritual. So, love is a big word again, and relationship is a very big word again. And knowing each other and just meeting for 5 minutes and ending up the meeting by saying "I love you," the other party says "love you too," doesn't have any meaning in life.
True, true. So if I have to say that your love is supreme, that's what you're saying, and expressing love should be in a pure way, should be unconditional. So that's so very right. Being a psychologist, I believe that I've been dealing with such cases where people do mistake the true love not in that real sense. They believe in those Bollywood movies and end up, committing suicide or falling into drugs and alcoholic substance abuse and alcoholic addiction. So I think it's high time I thought about bringing this deep talks virtual reality on love relationships where people have a shift of the mindset, and when it can reach to the global arenas, people can join in and they can easily express. It's like in catharsis in psychology. We are airing our views. It might affect a mindset, and that's what we are doing for the betterment of the nation. Solely the views expressed, I mean, I believe, are individuals' own experiences, and we should just give that much of courage, confidence in the outlook of thinking the way we should to bring a change in the society. So, sir, we have been dealing with certain cases where there are cases of erectile dysfunction. That's a problem. It's a major problem these days faced by men, majority of them. So should it be related to low self-esteem, and what are your views about it? What can best be done to, accept this reality? What can one do and keep the life going on? I mean, I would just want your views on this topic of, where people feel it's a taboo, they don't want to talk about it, it's like a big thing, and friends, just, they don't even consider you as friends anymore, and you are in your past living with those facts that made you a great lover one time, and now you are with this problem. So what are your views on it?
Gurleen, you have raised a very important issue. Before I start on that, I would just give you two examples of love. There was love of Radha, I've just spoken, then love of Meera.
Sure.
If some people have seen that old movie called Tansen, Tansen had achieved the love for music when he
True.
totally lost himself. And then
Exactly.
that knowledge of music came into him, and that was the true love for music. And he was trained for it throughout his life. Same way Devdas had to go a lifestyle experience, same way Meera has to go. Same way in Quran there is a qissa of Yusuf and Zulekha. There is Heer and Ranja. And there are
I'm sure.
so many innumerable masterpieces of love. So love is something eternal. It cannot be inculcated. It just
True.
happens. It takes place.
Yes,
It is born out of two united souls and two chemistries which are immaculately fitted into each other like this. Unless
I
this
know.
happens, this bond doesn't develop and love doesn't exist. So all that love we are talking is spurious. It is not genuine. It is like Chinese toys. We are talking of United States for less durability. So Chinese love I don't want. I want German
I
love. I want American love that is more durable. Love should be durable. And erectile dysfunction, sex problems are there in both men and women, boys and girls. In
Yes.
our society, we have two problems. One is our society is sex starved society, whereas you said sex is a taboo. But the
Yes.
bigger fault lies in sex education, which is again a taboo, though sex education is entirely different thing. And when a boy becomes a man and when a girl attains puberty, they have to be taught. Usually, they are taught by teachers in the West and in our homes by the mothers. Or by
Yes.
they learn from their elder sisters. In case of men, they learn from friends, of elderly people, or elderly people are very important in a boy's life because something which they cannot share with mother and father, they can share with their grandfather, can do something miraculous in teaching
True.
sex
True.
education to a grandson. Or they learn
True.
from their peers, or they learn from books, which are wrong. The literature on
Yes.
sex is always deceptive. It is misguiding, and or they learn it online. I had a doctor who was married, and she was so pure and pious that she did not know, despite being a doctor, how to have sex on the first night. So on the
Yes.
second night, they googled how to have first night, and then they could have second night as a first night. So this happens. There are
Quite
people,
normal.
so simple people, even today in this 20th century, who have been, you can say, either foolish or they have been extra pious. Both ways you can define them, but this happens. And this is every home's problem. This is everybody's problem. And apart from
Yes.
erectile dysfunction, we have to talk of premature ejaculations. And there
True.
was just a tweet you saw at which the huge war took place internationally when somebody told about Arab women that they do not have orgasm. What was this?
True.
This was a stupidity, but this was a fact also. So,
True.
fact is that men should know before their marriage how to orgasm their women, their wives, and wives should know how to orgasm their men. If this doesn't happen, their life is ruined and they don't tell to anyone. Some people read at their faces, some mature mother in laws, father in laws. can read the couple's faces in a few weeks after their wedding, whether they are happy sexually or not. But if that is not living separately, like nuclear
Exactly.
family, also never happens. And this gets prolonged and prolonged and prolonged. And this leads to its biggest disaster of life, which we call as non-adjustment of mental chemistry. Actually, it is a non-adjustment of physical chemistry. And
True.
people, they divorced, or they get to commit suicide, or they get into severe depression, and nobody comes to their rescue. They go to doctors, or probably wrong doctors. They should go to psychiatrists like you, and nobody tells you to go to a psychiatrist.
Honestly.
Everybody talks of sexual doctors or sex clinics, which are the biggest hoax, which are not true sexual clinics. They are the money spinners, or they sell their products. So they are not concerned with your happiness. They don't teach you the right things. So this is not a taboo. This is a part of human anatomy God has made, you see, with with his own hands. And a
Very
human being, the structure of a female, the structure of a male, the human being, it is said in the religious books that God has carved the human being himself. So this is the most wonderful masterpiece of the nature, or the mother nature, or the by God. We are the best incarnations, and we really misbehave with our bodies. We insult our body's anatomy. We do not know completely what is the function of our sex organs, as we are taught the function of eye, functions of digestive system. Somewhere it is
true.
lacking that. Whereas people are shy, even teachers are shy to teach the reproductive system. And I remember my days when the two birds meet sitting on the wall, we used to just shy.
That was
What is
that was
this? The birds are meeting, they are celebrating their union, and the child is shying because he knows what's happening, yet he's not brave
exactly.
enough to see it. So this is what
Exactly.
happens in the
Yes, sir.
practical life. And we
True.
should, and second thing, at the extreme, we have sex on the beaches, nude
True.
beaches. This also
True.
itself to the human behavior. This is more dangerous than,
Exactly.
I say, people have become mad. People are doing something which is the bedroom phenomena at the beaches. They're walking nude and they're smelling nude. There's so many
True.
videos of it like that. So we have not kept science balanced with sex in our life. It is science tells us that sex is a food for life, sex is a food for brain, sex is a
The
food
mind.
for our thoughts, positivity, energy, and our behavior. So God has made this wonderful thing to enjoy, which people are not able to enjoy, and therefore they are frustrated. Their meaning of life is lost. They are not living. They are just moving around. I have so
True.
many senior people coming to me, adults coming to me, husbands and wives. Other than having diabetes and injury to the
True.
spine, there is no organic cause to this phenomena you are talking.
I
The only
understand.
organic cause is diabetes, which is very common in India. And
True.
third cause, I will tell in the youngsters, of course, that the
True.
second organic cause is spinal injury. I just was
True.
seeing a penis developed on the, this is today's breaking news on the net. Today's breaking news. A man had to lose his penis because of infection. The British surgeons have grown a penis at his hand, but in the form of a bud. And when it will mature, they will reimplant the penis at the original anatomical site. This is today's net news in the evening
True.
at 6. So what I was telling is the commonest cause apart from diabetes and spinal injury paralysis is stress. And if you ask me honestly,
Yes.
especially these days of COVID, 100% people are going through stress. Before COVID era, I would say 95% people are under stress. This is very
True.
common, and previously we used to be taught that stress is a urban phenomena. Now,
True.
even the villagers, the small town dwellers, and the boys and girls which come from villages do have stress. but they manifest it in the different form. I have several teenage girls coming from the area of Mewat who always feel this phenomena as a taboo, and they have problems, and they behave in such a manner that they are being told that they have some imps effect on them, they have some ghost on them, or
True.
they have become mentally sick, and they have been going to door, doctor to doctor, psychiatrist to psychiatrist, hospital to hospital. And when they just walk in, I see two, three factors in these young girls. Either they have a complex of height, complex of
Okay.
complexion, complex
Okay.
of having not good hair. These is the three
Okay.
commonest things which I have found. And fourth and fifth is when they have a breakup in their young life because of their
Okay.
stupidities.
Yes.
And fifth is when they lag behind in education.
So we'll come to
All
that.
these
I
things,
mean,
yeah, all
we'll
these things
we'll
precipitate eating. All these
true.
things causes behind ED and causes behind all the lack of happiness in the most natural function of the body.
Exactly. So let's create a little more fun. I mean, if you get a chance to choose one song to express the love you have for someone, which song it would be, and why would you choose that song, if I may ask?
I am past 60, so I would always love that song Emery Zora Javin for my wife.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I
That's a
would
beautiful
really say it
song.
because I'm honestly telling you, I can't choose a young song or I can't choose a song which the youngster would like. I could be outcast for them actually if I try to do that. So you see, this song has a great meaning. This song "ए मेरी ज़ोरा जबीं तुझे मालूम नहीं तू अभी तक है हसीं और मैं जवान" says I have no erectile dysfunction. It's a-
Exactly, exactly. It keeps the love alive. It keeps the flame
yeah.
alive.
See, I used to hear my father saying and talking to his friends when I was a child sitting at the shop that the previous days people have so much maturity in the sex that a woman's only a feel of hand or a show of part of the face could excite them. And now
Exactly,
we have friends who see films, nude films whole night, and yet they are impotent. So this is
exactly.
what is going to change over centuries. That people have lost the normal mental adaptation to the most normal phenomena of day-to-day life, and this has degenerated into artificiality. So this is what is
True.
my view on this. I don't know. I may be wrong,
No,
but
no, you are right. Quite right. It is a loss of emotions, and maybe
yeah.
when it is very rightly stated that too much of everything or anything is leading to disaster. So actually, we should learn how to overcome these disasters which are happening in our emotional plane, where we are forgetting that only IQ is not important. I think a balance of IQ and EQ is really needed to strike a healthy relationship scenario. So I truly believe. Now, if I may ask you, like, if you prepare a love drink for yourself and our viewers have to sip it, what would be the ingredients you would want in your love drink? What are those ingredients that you will put in your love drink so that it is a delicious drink for our viewers and for us? The factors you will put in the love drink if you
Honesty,
make one.
honesty, sincerity, purity, truthfulness, dedication,
Okay.
devotion, and being honest to my partner would make the perfect love drink.
Okay,
This is
great. That's wonderful.
very
We have a viewers joined who have joined with us. One is Gargi Halder. She's a visually impaired, one of my best friends. She has said happy Friendship Day to both of you. And Himanshu Sharma, who said great initiative, Gurleen. So we are thanking both of them, and we are thanking all those viewers who are there with us and the ones who will be watching us later. I'm sure this initiative is going to spark a lot of flames in those couples who are wanting to appear on my show. So the ones who want to appear on my show can later on call me on my number 9646797080, or they can easily have my email ID where they can contact me, which is flashing on the screen, gurleenkhokhar@gmail.com. So basically, sir, what is the best approach in your life? I might ask you that what is the best approach you might find in a way to approach someone without hurting someone in love scenario? If you need to express your love to someone without hurting that person, what advice you can give to someone, maybe a male or a female who's wanting to go on for a date or something? Any advice that you can give?
First thing, you should show that you are honest, you are sincere, and you are a happy person. Nobody wants
True,
to have a person who is full of sorrows. The first
true,
thing, most important thing in life is you should be happy, and happiness comes from containment. So these days,
true,
youngsters are talking about money. This is suicide. They can't have
true.
money till they work hard. Everybody
Okay,
is talking about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. You can't go and
okay,
grab it from the supermarket. You have to really work hard day and nights. Heights attained by great men were not the result of a sudden flight, but they
there are
while
no
competing
shortcuts. Yeah.
were toiling upwards in the night. First, you have to work really hard. Then think of buying a BMW or buying a chartered plane. No, you
Wonderful.
don't. You can't grow it in a month. You have to have sustained years of hardship. And in during that hard work, you would find some companion watching you and say, here is a man who can be my choice.
Exactly.
So here is a man.
True.
I take one incident. I was going to a gym in United States, and every evening I was very regular. A lady used to come and watch me doing, and she didn't know. Like in India, we have marriages, and they just have boyfriend, girlfriend life. So she was very impressed,
Okay.
kind of devotion, dedicating. I was doing gym every day, knowing that I'm a doctor. So one day, she very innocently asked me, "Are you married?" I said, "Yes, I'm married." So next, everything is stopped. Next was, "Will you marry me?" If I will got married. So these are the things. You see, why she told me after two weeks of watching me doing my work, not by any other thing. So what might have clicked her could be nothing except
Exactly.
by devotion, dedication. The other incident I will tell you. I was staying
Okay.
in a very big hotel in London with former Prime Minister, and there I
Wonderful.
used to go to gym at 7 o'clock because 8 o'clock my Prime Minister would go for dialysis. And
Wonderful.
one day I found some tall person doing gym and running on the treadmill, which was Mr. Bachchan. Oh, I thought these celebrities get up at 2 o'clock during the day and sleep at 2 o'clock in the night. And Amitabh was early riser, and that is what I tell to youngsters these days. That I saw Pranab Mukherjee sahab getting up at 5 o'clock in the summers
Exactly.
and
Very great.
6 o'clock in the winters. I feel everybody who is a successful person in life has to learn from them. They have to be early riser. And these days, one of the biggest defect in the youngster is late sleeping, late getting up. Wrong kind of food, junk food. When
True.
their parents
Very
are
right.
sleeping, they are ordering food, fast food from the outlets, and they're eating. And then morning, what parents see in the bedroom is an empty box of pizza. So this is what
Exactly.
is taking up to a wrong direction. And they don't eat. Mothers complain that our children, our child doesn't eat the food which I prepare for them. So I tell sometimes to the mothers also that you should ask what the child needs to eat or what your son needs to eat, what your daughter needs to eat today. And then make it. My wife
Exactly.
makes pasta, nice pasta for my son. And that day he
Wonderful.
would not
Wonderful.
eat food in the home. Anything in the home he would not eat like korma and biryani. He would eat pasta. And my wife knows today he's not going to eat the food which we have made, but he's going to have pasta. If she would not make pasta, the child will order it midnight, 2 o'clock. So
True.
this is
True.
what mothers have to do, and something
So
children have to do to have a happy, healthy life. And these days, we are adapting the culture from the West, and
exactly.
we are probably ruining our life. And this is what is required for everybody in the world. You see, the West is again altered. They have no mother, father, joint families, and they are inculcating Mother's Day, Father's Day, Friendship Day every day. And
I
you
know.
see, they are to promote the bonding which we had as an ancestral theme or ancestral way of
Exactly.
living, and which probably
Yes.
we have a very big doctor came from USC, stayed in our house, and he told my son, the good things about life we are learning from you and your country, and the bad things of life you people are learning from America. And we are training
Yes.
our children the way you have been brought up. and you people are adapting the way which we have rejected. They have rejected all those lifestyles which we think is very modern.
Exactly.
No, it is
Yeah.
not. It's not.
True. So, sir, if I may ask, what are your views about those individuals who are chasing people in love and the ones who are doing eve teasing? What is your views about those souls who are, chasing women and males, being chased by, women? What do you think about this eve teasing, and how can we just prevent this from happening in our country? I would say.
Nobody will believe what I will answer. You can't
No, no,
chase a
but
girl. A
I
girl has
really
to
would
be
want to. This show is all about ripping the souls
yeah,
apart because I feel that talking more
yeah,
about achievements on every show is something that
yeah,
everybody is doing, right? So I have brought you, and I totally honor the courage and the confidence we will be sharing on this virtual platform.
I'm telling you with
Without
my I'm telling you with my experience, every day I meet at least 10 young couples, 10 middle-aged couples, and 10 elderly couples. And I learn a lot of them, a lot of knowledge from them. Like, I give you an
yes,
example of my batch. In my batch of
okay,
medicine, the best girls used to be very topper. And you had a question you have never about the personal crush, which I would just include in this answer. And there was a
mhm,
girl who used to have an eye on me, and I was very reserved and conservative type of boy, totally dedicated to studies, and I would not understand the signals which the boys of my
true,
age would understand and read
true,
about. So, first answer to your question is girls are never to be chased. You have to be good, so much attractive, so much charming, so much knowledgeable that girls have to chase you.
exactly.
That's the point. Number two, what I am telling purposely this example of my life, and that girl took my notes just before the final year exam. I hope that when I won't have notes, I would come and beg her because classes will finish in preparation leave, so I will have to come to hostel.
Exactly.
And it happened. I
That was a
had to
nice
go to
way. That was a nice way. That was a nice way.
yeah, and I had to go to girls' hostel, and then I just took the notes back, and she wanted to have a lot of fun, lot of talks, but I did a foolish thing. I came back to my hostel study. So this girl had an eye on the topper. What she did after I could not be, I mean, her choice or her relationship, or after I did miss the signals, what she did, my
Yes,
senior batch, one of my teachers, demonstrators, because our 2 year seniors are our demonstrators, she had chased that boy, and both of them are very happily living in London. He was also a topper. So girls
okay,
don't encourage and idiotic boys who show off, who show off good clothes, who smoke and show that they're very smart, who have costly mobile
exactly.
phones, who have nice cars. Girls
Yes,
don't,
yes,
don't value them. Girls know now value the good boys whom they see value, and girls are very wise. You see, girls. I
yeah,
would just that lady was
they
repeatedly
are.
asking Ankita Lokhande, women have a sixth sense, and I noted it down. This is true. Even the
Wonderful.
girls have sixth sense. Even when I see my daughter, she's able to guide my three sons. So she has some additional values, some additional wit, some additional talent, some additional force by being a girl, which
It's
mothers do have,
true.
used to have, and which could be very educative for men. Like my wife, when she's most angry on me, when I forget to toilet.
Exactly.
That's it. So
True.
these people have taught us how to live happily, how to live in unison. And if we don't understand any wife's signals or any wife's hints or any girl's hints as is
Yeah.
her friend, we are going to lose something big in life. So this
So
is very
what do you have to if I may interrupt and ask you what is the opinion of not sharing the extramarital affair stories with their wives or their partners? I think there are many cases coming up to me as well. I believe people are hesitant to talk about it, but with Deep Talks virtual reality on love, relations, and sex, lust, wants, desires, and needs, I have come across being very open about my own previous relationships and my current life scenario where I feel that it is better to air certain things because we don't end up committing a suicide or we don't end up being single. Like you can always make a friend out of your wedlock also. Even if someone is sitting and having a cup of coffee, it is not necessarily, that they are having sex. So I believe that this extramarital thing, if I in the coming times perceive it as, it should be open as the Western countries. People are copying the clothes, they are copying the style, they're copying the eating thing, everything. What have you to talk about this extramarital concept? Do you think it is to be talked about and we can do well as doctors in dealing with these kind of things openly on the platforms? I mean, what are your views about it?
You know what? Everything done in moderation
Is
is okay.
good.
And this applies
Is
there
good.
also. You know,
Exactly.
extramarital relationship very commonly in the offices, with between the boss and secretary. This is very common all over the world. And
Yeah.
Raj Kapoor used to say this. The very big man, Raj Kapoor, used to say this openly in many interviews. I have heard him saying that unless I have a bonding with my heroine, he cannot deliver what I want in the film.
Exactly. True. Very
This
true.
bonding is not a sexual bonding, it's an emotional bonding. You should not forget that.
Exactly.
Has
True.
gone, sorry,
Yes.
this is not a sexual bonding. No, it is an emotional bonding. Emotional
Exactly.
bonding. You have to understand each other's chemistry, and this is nothing bad with it. If you see, one has to be broad-minded, the wife has to be broad-minded, the husband has to be broad-minded, and you see, this should be within limits. You see, this should not cross the limits, because if you have a
Exactly.
family, you have growing children,
Yes.
and they
The
see this abnormal
responsibilities.
trend
Yes.
happening, it
Yes.
can destroy the whole lot of your generation. Your family is ruined, doomed, and
Exactly.
it happens on
Exactly.
you may justify things. You may justify
Exactly.
things. But two wrongs don't make one right. So one has to
Very
be
right.
very,
Very, very right.
there should be evidence to prove that you are innocent when you are practicing this kind of relationship. You have to be very
Exactly.
honest, as you said, to be revealed. If your wife knows what kind of friendship I have with my colleague, or she has with me as a colleague, then there is nothing wrong. But if suspicion comes in between, this suspicion is the greatest the greatest wall between the healthy relationship, and it spoils and dooms the life of both the couples or one couple, and more so for the children. It is very, 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 very damaging, and this should
Harmful.
be very
Harmful.
much responsibly committed. First of all, it should be avoided. But if you are practicing this
Exactly.
and you are practicing your relationship outside your family bond, outside your marital bonds, one should be very honest. And this is the right thing according to me. This is a very good thing. And there should be transparency. And transparency is a very big
Exactly.
word. You see,
So do you think
transparency is
that,
one thing. I will give you an
yeah,
example. A man
yes.
is having
So do you
fast
think,
and
sorry, I'm
he is in the
interrupting
water,
you.
he is taking
Yeah,
bath. There is
exactly.
going, yeah.
So,
Then
I mean,
you have
in
a
India,
fast, you are fasting.
no, there is a technical glitch somewhere, but overlooking the fact, do you think India is still lagging behind accepting the open mindset game, as in we are all accepting transgenders, lesbians, gays, and all these kind of, which were considered as taboos. People were not talking about them. Now they are demanding a position in society. They have the rights to express and they have the right to marry. So, do you think that still India is lagging behind? Are we on the right path or are we on the wrong path? You've served with the topmost presidents of India, and do you think it can be the mind shift can happen for a positive development in the
I will,
psychological field?
I will try to give you a very honest answer. There are two groups of people. One who are open, whom we call modern, whom we call very advanced, There are some people who are conservative, whom we call very strict people, like who are very stubbornly religious, like we call them fanatics. You see,
Yes,
all these things are individuals' right to practice. Even no
true.
law is required to legitimize them. It's
Exactly.
legitimate. I will tell you very important thing. Eunuchs were very important ingredient of all the kings court. They
Yes,
were not thought to be inferior. Rather,
true.
at times, were given due importance in their day-to-day affairs of running the kingdom. They were given due respect. You know, the problem arose. Where did the problem arose? When we start disrespecting someone who is different from
Exactly.
us. Let it be
Exactly.
transgender, let it be eunuch, let it be bisexual, let it be something else, or what do you call it, the TDT, LDT, whatever. Oh,
LGBTQ community. Yes.
वो क्या हो गया? Then you need a law, you need Supreme Court intervention, you need flags, you need processions. This is nonsense.
Exactly.
I was telling
Exactly.
in one of the interviews, this is not the majority of the population. And somebody from across the other side prevented me from saying this. So I could read there are undercurrents in them. They don't even not let them call to be in minority. They say we
True.
are part of society. So acknowledge them as a part of society. What is wrong in it?
Exactly. Very right.
In a
So,
fruit basket, let me complete. In a fruit basket, there is an
yeah.
apple, there is a
Yes.
banana, there is a
Yeah.
pineapple. So if you
True.
want to have that fruit basket, you can have a smooth apple fine, but you cannot have a hollow pineapple. You can't get a fruit
That,
basket.
yeah.
So
True.
society is mixture of all these components. You have to accept them. Why not?
Exactly.
Why do you require Supreme
Exactly.
Court position? You have to accept them. You have to
True.
realize them. You have their life, their creations of God. You can't
Yes.
hold them. You see, once you start disowning them, they will start claiming their right. Inqilab Zindabad. So this is what should not.
Exactly. Very rightly pointed out, sir. And I'm so honored that I'm working with you as well, and I'm dealing with cases which you keep forwarding to me. And I feel honored because you've served the presidents of India. And it's an honor that you've seen that caliber in me to treat such cases, wherein I feel honored to view this show, which is talking about realities of relationships, loves, and the taboos which we are not talking about. I'm sure the ones who are watching us, if they can easily comment there so that we can view and get back to you. And we would love to get back to all the viewers. And the ones who are not able to view at this time, they can see the link later on because this is going to be saved on my Facebook page, Gurleen Khokhar. So, well,
I would
sir,
give you I would
what
give
are
you
the
a
worst? Okay, sir.
sentence. Love is
Yes.
food for life.
Yes,
Love is food
exactly.
for life.
Very right. Very right.
Don't
So,
depend
what are the
on
worst factors in a relationship where a relationship can fall apart? Can you mention few of the factors wherein a relationship can go astray? Now you've been
ego.
married for how many years you've been married for
40,
now?
41 years.
Wonderful. So, what could be the factors that can lead a marriage to have a little bit of bumps, which everybody faces? I'm sure the public who's watching us, the viewers who are watching us, would love to know your own
I would say
factors.
only three things: greed,
Okay.
dishonesty, and lust for money.
Yes.
This is one side of the coin. The other side of coin is trust, mistrust. I mean, breach of trust or mistrust,
True.
and ego. Third most important is ego. Ego you have
Ego.
to sacrifice when you love someone. There is a saying of the prophet in our
Exactly.
religion: when you love someone, the bad smell of that person you don't mind, you ignore.
Exactly.
There is a saying in
Very right.
English: love me, love my dog. What does mean? What does it mean? Love me, love my dog. What does it mean? You have to accept my all good and all bad. Whoever I am, You have to accept me holistically, my all goodness, all bad things, everything as a holistic manner. If you accept only good in me and bad in me, you reject, you can't go together. So
True.
this is important part of life. Ego, zero ego,
Yes.
honesty and transparency, same meaning. And third
True.
is you have tolerance. Tolerance these days, 6 months divorce. Wedding 6 months divorce. 1 year
Right.
wedding divorce. This suicides, Shishant. Two girlfriends, no marriage, divorce,
No
one dead,
marriage.
two dead.
Yes.
Two girls died in this episode. And third is
True.
going to be behind the bars. I'm not giving a verdict. The matter is in the
I
court.
know.
So
I know.
the actions are such, the financial irregularities and everything like this. Like this is again very important. Lust for money in the married life, or for that
Is
matter, in any relationship, non-married
very right.
relationship,
Very
is
right.
catastrophic, suicidal.
True. Very true. So, sir, what according to you should be a broad mindset consisting of? Like, can we talk about broad mindset concept? Like, what do you think is a broad mindset including? What would
Very,
you?
according to me, it is very easy. Provided people, it is too hard to practice, but very easy to practice also.
But very easy. I believe you can give the
Ignore,
credit to me
ignore,
for coming.
ignore, ignore. After some time, things will settle.
I'm
Don't
sure.
react. Don't react.
I'm very sure. I'm very sure.
Yes,
So, sir,
you have to
if the
ignore my
question
shortcomings. If you have to think me as a partner, I have to ignore your shortcomings.
exactly,
If I think you are the partner in life. So one
yes,
has to ignore the shortcomings. Or
true,
every rose has thorns, but
yes,
people love roses.
mm,
Nobody loves thorns, but people love roses. Thorns are part of it.
agree, part
So
of it,
everybody has to be holistically accepted, and unless
exactly.
that is done, it is not relationship. It is not
So,
love.
true. So, do you agree with me that every newspaper should have a front page with some positive news and something related to relationship, which is changing the mindset of people from negative on just hearing about a depressive news column on the front page? Do you agree with me on that note? On and if there would be a column, what name it should be on? I mean, what are your views about it?
Well, this is a very positive idea. Films, newspapers, news on net are the reflection of us as a society.
Yeah,
Unless we reform the society, positivity can never breed. So there will be no
true,
column you are talking. So we have to be
true,
hardworking. We have to be working hard on this to make our children better for tomorrow's citizens of India, to start those young minds to care for them at least till the age of 13, 14 years. It's a message for all the mothers throughout the world that don't let the children grow like bushes in the jungle. Groom them like beautiful flower in a nursery. So then you
great,
have always good headline in the newspaper, in the news, all around. Like yesterday's news, mob lynching,
true.
floods,
So,
coronavirus. That's all. Nothing good.
wonderful,
So
wonderfully
all
said.
reflection of what we are doing in each and every home today, that would become the news of tomorrow. So do it
Wonderful.
right now from today in each home. Love your children, love your wives, love your husbands, love your brothers, love your sisters, respect your teachers, love your parents, and love for the poor. Love for
True.
the
Very
poor.
right.
And
Very right.
every newspaper will be full of positive news from tomorrow.
Yes, I'm sure. And so this program, Deep Talks, I started with your blessings, and this is the launch episode on Friendship's Day. And I believe that we cannot go without, having a little fun in the end. So I have framed this a love capsule. So there would be one word for you, and I will just speak one word, and you'll have to answer. So may we start? Are you in for it?
Rapid fire,
Okay. Life,
meaningful,
love,
pure
abundance,
of thoughts,
sex,
creative,
lust,
negative,
desire,
always positive,
kill,
skill,
kill, Kill.
kill, ego,
Okay, counselor,
counselor, your best friend,
time,
money,
wife,
time is money.
time is money, wife.
Why? We are talking now. Next moment we would be no together.
No, that
We
that
will.
that that that's calling for an honest reply. Wife.
Why? Yes, because time doesn't come back.
Okay,
Time has
so
hair in the front. Everything has got hair behind. We can catch. Time has hair on the front of the face. We cannot catch time.
so the other
It
word is
has
ecstasy.
happened in a cartoon.
The-
I still remember.
Very good. Very good. The other word is ecstasy.
Ecstasy, unlimited. Depends
Unlimited.
on.
So we are very thankful, and I'm very honored that you have taken your precious time to give to me and to come with me on the launch episode of Deep Talks Virtual Reality on Love. And I'm sure that you must be comfortable while airing your views, because the ones who are going to watch us later, I'm sure they're going to like our views and our program on this. And any message that you can give for the viewers who are watching us, any love message?
Well, you see, love is the most prized possession one can have. Don't destroy it once you have love with someone. Try to preserve it. And you are lucky if you are being loved. You are lucky to have love. You are lucky to find love. So, love is an ultimate gift of life, ultimate gift of God, ultimate happening in your life, and ultimate results of your life. Life without
True.
love, zero, useless, unmeaningful, and lost. Without
True,
love, we do not exist. Be it
true,
love for God, love for wife, love for mankind. In my case, love for patient, love for children, love for your work, love for your neighbor,
very
love
right,
for your.
very right. So any tips and blessings for Ms. Gurleen Khokhar as a psychologist to start this initiative? Because it takes a lot, as an Indian person to start this on an open forum like Facebook, where people are watching us and we are talking about those topics which are bold enough. Any
There is a
message,
famous.
any blessing?
Yeah, you have to peacefully listen. That it's for you. When the Taj Mahal was built, it's a story people talk about that those who built their hands were cut so that they
True.
cannot make another masterpiece, and therefore Taj is one in the world. So God has made good God one and the only one who preaches, practices, connects with God, and also delivers the best out of this world, and has become an international figure in this field, in a chosen field, and who has learned much from her experiences, which is a very sound knowledge, and she shares her experience very boldly, and she doesn't hesitate in teaching people by her own experiences, and she's bold, beautiful, and honest in her duty, and she's doing the best for the world, especially for the younger generation, especially for the Western world who is seeking salvage in things like what we are talking today, and which their own people don't talk anymore. It is a non-materialistic talk. It's something spiritual, something connected with the well-being of the mankind, which ultimately ends with love for the mankind. And I congratulate you, Gulin, for doing this
Thank you
best.
so much, sir. My honor.
I can assure the audience that no one like you in my 50 years career I have seen who can deliver this much so frankly, so openly. And you gave me courage to talk all this sitting in my bedroom along with my children, along with my daughter, along with my wife, because what I have talked and what you have asked is a very honest experience of life. If we have learned over the years by committing so many mistakes, and if the youngster learn from our mistake, they would be the benefactors and beneficiaries for the rest of their life. So good to
True, sir.
learn from those who have attained this experience after being faulted many times in their life, after losing something in their life. So the words are the words of wisdom. The words are golden words. And Gurleen, you are doing this masterpiece. And I congratulate you and I congratulate viewers to be part of your
Thank
show.
you so much.
For
Thank you so
sitting,
much, sir.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much once again for joining us. And may you have a fantastic night, sleep well, and all the viewers. If you need to connect to me, you can always fall back on my number 9646797080. I'm sure with the guidance of Dr. Mohsin Wali and Gurleen Khokhar as a psychologist, we both as a team would be able to solve your queries. And I don't want any such grave acts like suicides happening or any kind of substance abuse or anything which destroys anyone's career, whether be it adults, whether be it youngsters, school going kids. We are all there to listen to you. In today's
Don't
world,
hurt
listening is an
anyone.
important act.
Don't
True.
hurt anyone. Be happy always.
True. So see you next time, sir. Honor to have you.
Thank you.